Tonight, we're back from Smallville. Gunn finds his new Clark and Lois. Samuel L. Jackson wants no MFing AI and no MFing contracts. And remember actor Alan Arkin. All that and more on this edition of Multiverse Tonight.
Comic books, sci-fi, fantasy, and more. If you're looking for a roundup of geeky news, you're in the right place. This is Multiverse Tonight. And here's your host, Thomas Townley.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 192 of Multiverse Tonight, the podcast about all your geeky multiverses. Well, we're back from Smallville. We had a good time. That was part of a 9-day vacation for me, so a little bit more relaxed, I guess. The truth is, I'd rather be on vacation permanently, but when you reach your upper 40s, that it's like I want to be on vacation permanently. I want to stop this working jazz. You know, just get on to retirement already. And trust me, retirement is only a good thing if you have something to do. If you have nothing to do, retirement is an awful thing. But anyway, getting back on subject of Smallville, had a good time. I brought my Venom Saurus inflatable costume, and after having a little issue with batteries, on Sunday got to wear that around. It was a hit. People, people really the like that. What I need to do is I need to make a T-shirt or something for that, so I can like advertise the podcast, or even like a little handheld sign that says "Listen to Multiverse Tonight." I think that'd be a good idea. Other than that, you know, we connected with some people, got some people to take cards. I sold an action figure I've held since 1999. So I sold that for, I bought it for like $2.50, sold it for $10. So, hey, there's appreciation. It's not $1 million sale, but it's good enough. Anyway, let's get talking about this past weekend's box office. Now, of course, this is an extended weekend, so they'll put out a box office report for everything, including July 4th. Probably next week. But let's start at number 10. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 shows up there after falling from number 8 to number 3. Now, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has made $354.8 million domestic. That so far gives it a grand total worldwide of just under $1 billion, $835.7 million. Now, up from that is Asteroid City, Wes Anderson's new flick, and that goes from number 6 to number 9. The Flash falls from number 3 to number 8. It's made 99 million domestic, 245.3 million worldwide. So, still, it's not what they hoped for, but I think it's better than what they wished. The Little Mermaid stays at number 7. It's made 280.9 million domestic. Debuting at number 6 is the new Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken animated movie with 5.2 million. Transformers Rise of the Beast stays at number 5. It's so far brought in 136.1 domestic. No Hard Feelings stays at number 4 with 29.3 million total domestic. Elemental falls from 2 to 3, bringing in 11.3 million this week. It's for a total of 88.7 million gross. Now, Elemental, this is the Disney Pixar latest, and it's not doing what they hoped. This continues kind of this slide on Pixar movies as of late. But I'm sure it's a great movie. I'll just wait till it hits Disney Plus, though. It's just the way things are now. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse falls from number 1 to number 2 with the 11.5 million this week, bringing its total gross to 39.8 million. And worldwide, it's brought in just over $500 million, $607.2 million. And debuting at number 1 is the new Indiana Jones movie, Indiana Jones and the Big Apology, the Dial of Destiny. It brought in 60 million, which is softer than what they wanted. They wanted something. They wanted, the doors ripped off. But 60 million, that's good. Made 152 million worldwide for the first 3 days of release. So it's okay. Again, not what I wanted, but it'll work. Anyway, let's get on to the DC Comics news. And we begin the DC Comics news with appropriate music because Warner Brothers and DC Studios have found their new Clark Kent and Lois Lane for James Gunn's new Superman movie, Superman Legacy. David Corensweat, a relative new face, will play Superman. The film will mark his first major leading role in a major studio film, having previously appeared in projects like Pearl, The Politician, and We Own This City. I can't say I've heard of any of those, but we'll see how he does. And joining him will be Rachel Brosnahan, late of the marvelous Mrs. Maisel, who will play Lois Lane. Now, with those two roles filled, James Gunn is looking for his Lex Luthor and his Jimmy Olsen. Superman Legacy has been set for a worldwide release on July 11th, 2025. Now let's go to some Marvel news. And we begin Marvel news with Secret Invasion stars Samuel L. Jackson and Olivia Coleman, who are thrilled to be a part of a very different kind of Marvel story with Secret Invasion. Now, their mature espionage thriller dives deeper into Nick Fury's background, grappling with the Avengers founder's age and his post-blip malaise. His decline is also noticeable that Fury's inner circle have considerable doubt about if he can do anything to stop the Skrull rebellion that Kingsley Ben-Adair's Gravik is leading to devastating effect. Jackson told a Hollywood Reporter, quote, "The bad guy actually referred to Fury as vapors of himself, which is harsh. So it's time to reassess and reevaluate who you are, what you're doing, and how you're doing it. And throughout the course of this series, he finds ways to strengthen himself so that he can be up to the task at hand." Unquote. Coleman, who'd been lobbying to join the MCU for years now, made her debut as Sonya Falsworth, a high-ranking MI6 agent and longtime frenemy of Nick Fury. She, too, wasn't holding back that Fury seemed washed up. Coleman said with a laugh, quote, "She does it in a weird way, out of a sort of love. Please be careful. Her sort of love is a funny old thing, but I think she generally does mean it." Unquote. Meanwhile, Mr. Jackson says that he's become well aware of the growing role and impact of AI in Hollywood, which is why he doesn't sign contracts that let projects use his likeness in perpetuity. In a recent interview with Rolling Stone, the star and recent Tony nominee opened up about his support for the writer's strike, why Secret Invasion isn't exactly the thing he was pulling for in the MCU, and working with Brie Larson, who is, quote, "a stronger person than people give her credit for amid online harassment from incel dudes who hate strong women." During the conversation, Jackson opened up about the SAG-AFTRA negotiations and the role of AI in Hollywood, knowing that it was a topic he had already been thinking about since his Star Wars prequel days. Quote, "People just started worrying about that. I asked about that a long time ago. The first time I got scanned for George Lucas's The Phantom Menace, I was like, what's this for? He said. George and I are good friends, so we kind of had a laugh about it because I thought he was doing it because he had all those old guys in episode 1, and if something happened to them, he still wanted to put them in the movie, unquote. Now, Jackson knows that he's had similar experiences throughout his time playing Nick Fury in the MCU, performances that came amid a number of studios using de-aging technology. Quote, ever since I've been in the Marvel Universe, every time you change costumes in a Marvel movie, they scan you. Ever since I did Captain Marvel and they did the Lola project where they de-aged me and everything else, it's like, well, I guess they can do this anytime they want to if they really want to, unquote. Now, that is saying something that is something the actor says, quote, could be something to worry about, unquote, and has made him more careful about the language that comes in his contracts. Quote, future actors should do what I always do when I get a contract, and has the words in perpetuity and known and unknown on it. I cross that bleep out, he says. It's my way of saying, no, I do not approve of this, unquote. Now, Jackson's comments came a day before Polygon published statements from the Secret Invasion director and executive producer Ali Salim, confirming that the show's title sequence, which was made by Mythos Studios, was created using AI. The studio did not respond to Polygon's request for comment. Now, on other news, El Murato, the Spider-Man spinoff starring Bad Bunny, is dead, at least for the time being. The feature project, which had Jonas Cuarón, the son of filmmaker Alfonso Cuarón, in the director's chair, was slated for a January 12th, 2024 release date, but Sony announced this past Wednesday that it had taken the title off the release schedule. Murato was have to been said the first live-action Marvel project to star a Latino character, and El Muerto is an anti-hero, the son of a luchador or aka Mexican wrestler. So, yeah. And Bad Bunny, is in shape to do, Mexican wrestling. He's in shape to do any wrestling. We've seen him do a little bit in WWE. Composer Benjamin Wallfish is staying in the comic book space. Wallfish will compose the score to Craven the Hunter, the Sony Columbia Pictures feature film starring Aaron Taylor Johnson as the Marvel antihero. Now, Wallfish is a veteran of the comic book genre, with his recent scores for The Flash being heard in theaters at the moment. He's also behind the scores for 2019's Shazam and Hellboy. And outside the comic realm, Wallfish scored the Flash director Andy Machete's two It films, released in 2017-2019, as well as Ron Howard's 13 Lives, 2021's Mortal Kombat, 2020's The Invisible Man, and Blade Runner 2049, which got him to work with Hans Zimmer. Craven the Hunter, which hails from director J.C. Chandor, is due out in theaters on October 6th. And frankly, I'm kind of not interested with the first trailer. The first trailer, it's like, really? Why would I want to see this? It gives me nothing that really draws me in. They're trying for machismo and all that, but yeah. Anyway, let's go on to the Star Trek news. Star Trek Prodigy, the first children's animated series set in the Star Trek universe in decades, has been canceled. And has been removed from Paramount Plus altogether. Variety reported that Prodigy is one of 4 series, along with The Game, Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies, and Queen of the Universe, which will disappear from Paramount Plus as the streamer makes adjustments to its programming. Now, with the studio just created the Paramount Plus with Showtime bundle. The Game, Star Trek Prodigy, and Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies are all eligible to be shopped to other networks, which suggests that while they are being removed from Paramount Plus, they're not being written down or scrubbed from the internet, which is something that's become disturbingly common. Now, it's the note that Star Trek Prodigy also aired on Nickelodeon until its finale in December, and according to Variety's report, the series will also be pulled from that network as well, ensuring that until and unless CBS Television has a chance to shop it around, there will be no reruns of the series. Paramount Plus spokesperson stated, the Paramount Plus series Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies, Star Trek Prodigy, Queen of the Universe, and the game have completed their runs on Paramount Plus and will not be returning to the service. We want to extend our thanks to our tremendously talented cast and crew and our producing partners for their passionate work and dedication to these programs, and we wish them all the best on their future endeavors. Unquote. Now, Dan and Kevin Hageman, Star Trek Prodigy's creators, took to Twitter to share comments about the show on their shared account, saying, hashtag Star Trek has taught my brother and me to strive for a better future. While news of hashtag Star Trek Prodigy not returning to Paramount Plus is disappointing, we have faith the show will be picked up by a new home to help grow our fervent fan base and inspire the next generation of Star Trek fans. Our talented and passionate team of artists are working tirelessly to complete season 2, and we are staying positive and hopeful that our amazing fans will get to see it soon. Janeway would never give up, so why would we? Let's follow her orders and go boldly. Now, so far, the DVD and Blu-ray of the first and seemingly only season of Prodigy has been selling like hotcakes. It's seemingly out of print almost everywhere. But I'd also like to remind folks that there is a video game out there on many platforms, including Switch, which I believe it's on sale right now. So, if you want to help Prodigy and those DVDs are sold out, why not pick up the game? Show some love to it. Show Paramount Plus that we want to save this. I mean, this is our Bijou Trimble minute. And if you don't know who that is, look her up. But yeah, this is a big moment for Trek fans to get behind the franchise and say, hey, you didn't finish the story. Don't cut it off right after the first season, after they fly off in a brand new ship to go find Chakotay, and then we never finish the story. So, get on it, Trek fans. Andrew J. Robinson is returning to his beloved character of Elam Garak for Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Robinson will read the... Let's try that again. Andrew J. Robinson is returning to his beloved character of Elam Garak in the new audiobook adaptation of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, A Stitch in Time, which is the Star Trek novel that Robinson wrote, and that Simon Schuster's first published via its pocketbooks imprint back in 2000. Since then, A Stitch in Time was written by the Star Trek actor from a point of view of the character that they played. Now, Star Trek fans have long been clamoring for an audiobook audiobook edition read by Robinson, even launching a Change.org petition that requested it back in 2020. Now, Simon Schuster seems to have decided that Star Trek Deep Space Nine's 30th anniversary in 2023 is a perfect time for fans to get what they asked for. Andrew J. Robinson said in a statement to StarTrek.com, quote, narrating the book for the audio version and revisiting Garak for his story was a true labor of love. It made me realize just how much I miss the rascal, but not the makeup. I hope that people, including those who have read the book, enjoy listening to Garak's remarkable journey, as much as I enjoyed taking it again. Unquote. Now, Chris Lynch, president and publisher of Simon Schuster Audio's division, has long said that this has long been near the top of many Star Trek fans' wish lists, and he said, quote, we are thrilled that Andrew J. Robinson will fulfill those wishes and give voice to his classic Deep Space Nine tale, unquote. Yeah, it's a good book. If you haven't read it, I think, listening to Garak narrate his own life story, is probably a good book, and I need to pick this up myself. Now let's go on to the Star Wars news.
Roger.
BioWare has announced that it will be passing off the ongoing development of the Star Wars MMO Star Wars The Old Republic to a brand new studio. In a new blog post on BioWare's official website, Studio GM Gary McKay explained that it believes The Old Republic has the best opportunity to grow and evolve if given to a new publisher. As such, Broadsword will be stepping in to take over the ongoing work on the title. Previously, Broadsword has worked on other MMO titles such as Ultima Online and Dark Age of Camelot. McKay said, quote, I've been working closely with Keith Koenig, who leads the SWTOR team, to give the game and the team the best opportunity to grow and evolve. And so while EA will remain the publisher, development of the game will move to our partner and friends at Broadsword, a boutique studio with expertise in managing online games. In the long run, though, we are confident that this is the best decision for the game and its community. We at BioWare will miss being a part of SWTOR's story going forward, but we also know that that will be in very good hands, unquote. Now, McKay also made clear that this shift in developers doesn't mean that anything will play on the player side will be changing with Star Wars The Old Republic, and EA will serve as the publisher of the project, and some individual devs that have previously been on the Old Republic team will have the option to jump ship to Broadsword. So while this marks the end of BioWare's time being the lead developer on the lead long-running MMO, it doesn't seem like this move will have a negative impact on the players. That is, at the present. We'll see. The dress worn by Carrie Fisher at the end of the original Star Wars in 1977 was recently found in an attic and put up for auction by PropStoreAuction.com. However, the dress went unsold this past weekend. Now, the highest bid was $975,000, which was shy of the reserve price for the auction at $1 million. So, as press time right now, this has not sold. So, if you got $1 million, anyone want anyone Princess Leia's dress? Anyone? Tell you what, if you give me $1 million, I'll do something better than just buy a dress with it. I'll help this podcast. So head on over to multiversetonight.com and find out how you can support the show. Now, let's get on with the geek news. And we begin geek news with the ongoing SAG-AFTRA and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers have officially announced plans to extend their contract until July 12th, delaying a possible actors' strike. The news was broken on late Friday night, with both parties confirming that the decision was made to allow bargaining to continue. Now, prior to this, SAG-AFTRA's contract was initially set to expire on this past Friday, June 30th at midnight Pacific time, with many wondering if the strike would occur soon after. Now, this decision mirrors what both parties did during the 2014 and 2017 talks, in part to account for the 4th of July holiday. In those previous instances, the new deal was reached between SAG-AFTRA and the AMPTP by early July, but it's unclear at this point if that will happen this time around, especially as the Writers Guild of America has been on strike for several months now. So will we see the actors go on strike? And if so, what's left for 2024 and 2025? Stay tuned. Yep. Anyway, Evan Peters, star of Dahmer Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, and mayor of Easttown, is joining Jared Leto in Tron Ares, the third film in the extremely long-lived cyberspace adventure franchise. Now, Joaquin Roenick from Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, will direct the film from a script by J.C. Wugutau. Production is set for August, actor strike, of course, notwithstanding. And joining will be Jodie Turner-Smith, who starred in 2019's movie Queen and Slim. So, are you ready for an Tron movie? Is this just a Tron too far? Write us. Tell us. Anyway, this is some interesting news. So, if you have tickets for San Diego Comic-Con, prepare to enjoy the comics, but probably not the studio panels, because it looks like there won't be any studio panels this time around, as Deadline has confirmed that Universal Pictures, Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, Sony Pictures, and Netflix will not be doing anything at the convention in a major way. Now, that hold it here. Hold it. While the two previous movies were largely set in the world of computers and programs, the script for Ares, written by Jesse Wogatow and Jack Thorne, is said to focus on the emergence of a sentient program that crosses over into the human world that is not ready for contact. Are you ready for Tron on the streets? Leo, who has been attached to the project for several years, is to play Ares, the manifestation of the program. Lee is playing a video game programmer and tech CEO, which is described as the leading role. Now, it's not clear who Turner Smith is playing. The San Diego Comic Con will most likely be without Hollywood panels this year. Yeah, sad if you have tickets. Deadline has confirmed that Universal Pictures, Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm, Sony Pictures, and Netflix are among those companies not planning to attend in any major way. It comes as the Writers Guild of America is currently on strike, having failed to reach a deal, and SAG-AFTRA is still negotiating with studios. So, given this uncertainty, the studios have decided against planning a major presence in case the actors, as well as the writers, are unwilling to attend. However, it does look like the directors will ratify their deal. So, just a directors panel. Now, this is the latest blow for Comic-Con, which canceled its main event in 2020 and 2021 as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. This is why I like small conventions. What can I say? Chris McCarthy, the president and CEO of MTV Entertainment Group, continues to slim down Showtime's content pipeline. The premium cable network has passed on 4 projects: the reboot of Gattaca, there's that, Seasoned, the comedy inspired by the lives of Matt Patinkin and Catherine Grody, and passing on 2 projects that had been in development, Split and Sweetness. Now, Sony Pictures Television, which produced Gattaca and Sweetness, plans to shop both projects around. And, if they already have those projects complete in the can, they have a good chance, just in case SAG goes on strike. The Dune spin-off television series has undergone yet another major change. On Friday, a report revealed that the Crown star Olivia Williams and The Witcher's Jodie May have joined the series, which is currently operating under the working title of Dune: The Sisterhood. Williams will be portraying the role of Tula Harkonnen after Shirley Henderson stepped away from the part in February of this year. May, meanwhile, will be replacing Game of Thrones and Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi star Indira Varma, who was cast as Empress Natalia, but has reportedly stepped away from the part due to a scheduling conflict. And now, some sad news, of course. Alan Arkin, the longtime screen and stage actor who won an Academy Award for his role in the 2006 film Little Miss Sunshine, has passed away. He was 89 years old. Now, Arkin, who won acclaim for his role as the foul-mouthed grandfather in Little Miss Sunshine, began his career in theater before breaking into television and film roles. He starred in films including Edward Scissorhands and Argo, and series like BoJack Horseman. His most recent role was on Netflix's The Kominsky Method, where he earned 2 Emmy nominations for a supporting actor in a comedy series. He also voiced Wild Knuckles in the last Minions movie, the Chief in the movie version of Get Smart, and was John Cusack's character's Shrink in Grosse Point Blank. Now, during the course of his career, Arkin earned 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards, a Golden Globe Award, and a Tony Award, in addition to the Oscar and British Academy Film Award, for which he collected for Limited Sunshine. He also received multiple Oscar nominations, including for his first film, The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming. Arkin was married 3 times and has 3 children. He has first wife, his first wife were wed for 6 years and they had 2 sons, Adam and Matthew. The pair divorced in 1961. From 64 to 1994, Arkin was wed to screenwriter and actress Barbara Dana, for whom he had the son Anthony Dana Arkin. After divorce, he married Suzanne Newlander, and during his career, Arkin worked with all 3 of his sons, including Adam Arkin's character's father in the series Chicago Hope. Now, if you want a good Adam Arkin movie to watch, I highly recommend watching him in the 1979 version of The In-Laws, in which he plays opposite Peter Falk. I saw that, years and years ago, and is a very funny movie. Him having to play off Peter Falk's kind of rumpled demeanor. And with that note, that brings us to the end of this edition. Now, be sure to check us out on social media. We're at Twitter at Multiverse Tom. We're also on Facebook and Instagram as well. We're also on T2 and Mastodon as well. So you can find us at Multiverse Tom over there as well. And if you found value to the show, please feel free to contribute. Check out the show notes. Visit the TeePublic store and so much more at the brand new multiversetonight.com. Every time I publish something, it's brand new, isn't it? Now, if you're a subscriber, thank you very much. Be sure to share us with friends, family, people you like, people you don't like. We're not picky here. And if you're brand new to the show, please be sure to subscribe. And if you want to leave some feedback, that'd be great too. Head on over to, again, multiversetonight.com, or usually the pod player might have something. Anyway, special thanks to Shane Ivers for the intro music and Lobo Loco for the outro theme music. Thanks for watching this edition of Multiverse Tonight. We'll be back in 2 weeks for more sci-fi and comic book news. And watch this feed for another edition of the Spinner Rack coming soon. I spoke with him this past weekend, and we're going to get on more episodes. Now, please exit the universe in an orderly fashion. Good night. Multiverse Tonight is a production of Half Baked Genre Productions. Copyright 2023. All rights reserved. This podcast is part of the Pop Goes the Culture podcast network. Find about our other podcasts at popgoestheculture.com.